Girl, we still here. Girl, we are still here arguing with Martell and Melody for round three. And it is just what I will say is that I feel so sorry for Melody because to have to deal with this man. And I went to Google, I did my Googleations and I wanted to look at the psychological or the psychology definition for what he does. And I thought that the definition was going to be much more insidious, but it's not. It really truly is deflecting. And I looked up the definition and it means instead of accepting responsibility and facing the uncomfortable situation head on, the deflector will try to move the focus from themselves, usually by passing the blame onto someone or something else. And literally, that is what Martell Holt has done this entire just this whole situation, this whole ordeal. And I just really feel bad for Mel because how can you ever reconcile with someone who can't even realistically y'all anyway I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, my name is Belle. This is the Belle Perspective and we are here to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. We have finally come to the end of the road. This is part 3 of season 6 reunion. Praise God, we are here. If you're new to my channel, welcome. All right. I talk about books, TV, movies, all kinds of things. Check out my content. If you're returning, welcome back. You already know the drill. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about the show and help me, cover anything that I may have missed. And also don't forget to like this video before you leave. Let's get into the review. So we pick up back from where we left off. Okay. Back like we never left, child. So Mel and Betty are still getting into it. And Betty basically is saying, I don't like her. I don't like Mel. And my problem with Betty is that Betty, you're not on the show. Okay. You've appeared maybe 1 or 2 times. Betty, please let your daughter handle this. Okay. Stormi is a grown adult and she can speak for herself. You don't need to jump in this. I think that's my biggest issue. Now, do I understand what Betty is saying? Yes. I believe Stormi. And I know some of y'all were saying that, people were complaining about Stormi's products and wanting to get it taken off the shelves because they weren't getting their deliveries on time. And I said, are y'all listening to what y'all are saying? So people are asking for a product to be taken off the shelves because they didn't receive the very same product that they're saying get taken off to take off the shelf. So you see in the product on the shelf and you didn't receive it. It doesn't make sense, right? You know what I'm saying? Logically, it doesn't make sense. No. What Stormi was saying is that millimeters were trying to bully her, just like Beehive people do as well. Asking for Stormi's business to be disrupted, trying to get to her bag. That's what it is. I believe Stormi, okay? I know you may disagree with me. That's fine. Get down in the comments. But we have to agree that some of these women who follow Melody are insane and out of line and out of pocket, period, okay? And that's what it is, all right? At the end of the day, I do think that Stormi respected Mel, and because of the nature of the situation, the nature of reality TV, Mel just didn't really know who to trust. And just looking at this whole situation with Kimmy on this last episode, with just Kimmy as of late, I see why Mel don't trust none of these people and she don't be fooled up with them. I get it. Okay. Some of y'all said that Stormi is friends with Ariane. I don't know that. I don't be getting all in their business. Like, I don't follow these people. After the show wraps up, I'm done with them too. Okay. I really am. I'm not trying to be funny. I wrap up once the show wraps up. But word on the curb is saying that Ariana and Stormi are friends. I don't know that. I don't know that to be true, but I can see why Mel don't want to fool with nobody on the show just because of the nature of the show and the way things are. I do not think that Stormi is jealous of Mel. Stormi got her own life going on, okay? Mel is standing in her own right. Stormi is standing in her own right. And that's just that, okay, y'all? I do think Miss Betty need to go sit down, all right? Watching Miss Betty makes me miss Miss Wanda. I'm not gonna lie to you. Miss Wanda was funny as hell to me. She was so funny. And yeah, she kicked up dust, but the shit was funny as hell. Miss Betty, it's serious. I don't know. I don't know. But her hat was cute though. It was cute. Anyway, so we break down to talk about Stormi and Junior's relationship where Junior quit the quit working at Canvas. Stormi's a little sad about that because she wanted him to stay working. He's found another direction, basically trying to preserve their relationship, because if we continue to work together, it's not gonna last, right? So that's good. It may turn into another Tisha and Kiki child. All right. We asked about the update with Betty and Lisa, and we all have family members who do not get along, okay? And for some reason, it's always the brothers and the sisters, right? They get caught in it, and then the children of the brothers and sisters or the siblings that get caught in it as well, okay? It's always something going on. We see this with Tisha and Kiki as well. Tisha and Kiki don't get along, but the cousins love each other and want to hang out. And so they're interfering with that just because of the nature of their relationship between Kiki and Tisha. And it's just so sad to see that Lisa and Betty are not really working on their relationship. I hope they do. Betty acted like it was above her. I'm like, girl, you very much play a part in this relationship. If you really want to be with your sister, then you need to reach out and extend that olive branch. Anyway, I just, that's that. We wrapping that up. They left. Wasn't really no need for them to be on the reunion, be at the reunion, but you know, it's fine. We get to Chris and Nell, the new addition. Now, I'm not going to hold y'all. I liked watching Chris and Nell. I like them. I hope they're replacing Tiffany and Lewis. Bye, Tiffany girl. Good day. The door is closed, girl. Bye, girl. We done with you. Now, the Fletchers they weren't ready to put their business out in the street on reality, because I guess Carlos had approached them before asking if they wanted to be part of reality TV, and Nell was like, no, that's, I got a lot going on in my family. I'm not trying to put all that on TV. Makes sense. I guess they're ready now. So I get my biggest question, and this ties into what Carlos was asking Marsau, the situation about the Black Business Expo. Why were Chris and Nell not invited to come speak at the panel? And I don't know if y'all noticed, but Tisha singled out Nell. She was like, yeah, we were inviting Chris to come to the expo, but I forgot about it. Y'all didn't hear how she singled it out. She was like, I wanted to reach out to Chris, but she didn't really say she was trying to bring Nell on. I was like, okay, Tisha, I heard that. I saw that. But anyway, my biggest issue, and again, it ties into what Carlos was asking. If Marsau knows what how did Marsau go on a business trip to Atlanta, the whole big bike situation? Now, the big bike, okay? The big bike situation. How did Marsau go on a business trip with Chris Fletcher? Y'all remember that episode where he was in the car and he was talking to Tisha, and Tisha was asking him what the hell was going on down there in Atlanta with this big bike? And Marsau told her that he was down in Atlanta on a business trip with Chris Fletcher, and he had held this whole suspenseful response and was just doing all this foolishness. How the hell you don't know what Chris Fletcher does for a living if your ass went down to Atlanta for a business trip with him, Marsau? Why? See, these are questions that need to be asked. These are the questions that need to be asked, okay? Marsau says that it's sexist that Chris Fletcher didn't tell Marsau what his wife did for a living. Marsau, please. Marsau, please. He irritates my soul. He really irritates my soul. Not more than Martell does. Actually, they both neck and neck. They really irritate my soul. They really do. Okay. Then Carlos asked about the infidelity. Tisha, why did you feel like it was important for you to ask about Nell and Chris's infidelity? And her response was, I feel like I've been very direct all this season. Bitch, when? Girl, no. What kind of response was, girl, Tisha, no, you was being messy. And here's the thing about Tisha, you don't want nobody coming for your marriage, but you have no problem sitting back, snickering and laughing about other people's business. All right, now, I said this in my last review. I said, girl, you smirking too much. You doing too much. You doing too much for somebody who, okay, got the perfect quote unquote marriage and who husband quote unquote ain't never cheated on them. Girl, you doing a lot. You're doing a lot. Now, this is where it turns real sideways, because why the hell did Carlos feel like he needed to get into Chris and Nell's business about the infidelity? It happened years ago. It was the most uncomfortable questioning ever. Why did we get into that, y'all? Please get in the comments and tell me what y'all think, because boy, why are you asking about this whole situation? Now, what I did get, now, okay, I'm being a little mess. I'm being just a little bit messy. You're not going to dip my toe in that thing, right? I'm going to dip my toe in messiness, right? So when apparently a friend told Nell that Chris was cheating on her, she didn't have any proof. Okay, now follow me, y'all. Follow me. Okay. Nell was told by a friend that Chris was cheating on her. She didn't have any proof. She approached Chris Fletcher. He told her no. She didn't believe him. So she basically backed him up into a corner until he told the truth and confessed. She ain't have no proof though. Y'all, did y'all hear that? The girl ain't have no proof, but somebody had done told her something. And so she held his feet to the fire until she got the truth. Let that be a lesson to you, Tisha. Let that be a lesson to you, okay? Sometimes sometimes proof ain't always readily available, okay? But that's that on that. All right. So they talk about how Nell and Chris went through the situation. They separated. She said, love makes her do crazy things. That's the reason why she got back with Chris. She loved him. I was looking at her like, girl, okay. If it worked for you, dear, fine. Fine. Okay. We also talk about the counseling that Chris and Nell provided to Mel and Martell. And Melody can attest that Chris and Nell really provided them some really great counsel, and they were there for them. We were up at night crying and talking and really trying to, make this thing work. And they never took any sides. They were just in support of both of us. And all that work that they did, and Martell still turned around and showed his whole ass. Child. Nell says that she sees a lot of commonality between Chris, the way Chris used to be, and the way Martell is right now. His arrogance and how he, walks around just cocky and everything and feeling like he's not going to lose his family. And she said, I used to tell that to Martell all the time. Your arrogance, all this, rah-rah that you got going on, all this hubris that you have, sir, it's going to cause you to lose your family. And look what it did, okay? But Martell still living in denial. Baby, denial ain't just a river, okay? It ain't just a river. So we get to the Houston trip, all right? And Carlos is asking Martell about the woman who was creeping around late at night with Martell. Clearly, Martell gonna lie, because you know what liars gonna do, okay? Liars gonna lie. And Martell said, oh, she was a massage therapist. Melody said, well, where the hell was the table? And I was like, I feel like somebody else should have did this. I did not want Melody to be the one to ask these questions. And the reason being is because, Melody, I really don't want you to get your hands dirty with this motherfucker. I don't want you to have nothing to do with him. Who the fuck cares who he's sleeping with? We already know he got community dick. Let that nigga catch whatever he finna catch and be out in the street and do whatever the fuck he want to do, Mel. Please do not get your hands dirty with this fool. But since nobody else is going to hold his feet to the fire and call him out to the carpet on his deflection and the foolishness that he does and the lies, which irritates my soul. I said this already. For those of y'all who watch my Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reviews, get into it, okay? It is a pet peeve of mine for someone to lie to me, blatantly lie to me in my face, as if I don't understand what's happening, and then try to switch the narrative up and make themselves the victim. That is the most irritating thing I can possibly experience. And when I start to feel like that's what you're doing, I'm not going to let up. I can't let up until I call out the foolishness. And I feel like Martell, because he's a man, because people find him attractive, because, so many other factors play into this scenario, that Martell gets away with so much. And it's enraging how nobody calls him calls his feet to the fire or holds his feet to the fire. It is enraging. It really is. Okay. So he's such a liar. He was like, oh, this masseuse that came. Melody was like, where the hell the table at? And Martell was like, oh, I didn't ask her if she was a professional. I didn't look at her license. Nigga, please. Here's the thing. You're single, Martell. Why does Martell feel like he still needs to hold up this I'm a good guy, I'm not in the streets, I'm not community dick kind of facade? Sir, you literally cheated on your wife for over half of your marriage, had a baby, and you're still fooling with the woman that you had a baby with. Why can't you just be honest? You are a single man. You are free and open to do whatever it is you want to do. So be honest with yourself and be honest with the rest of the panel and the rest of the people on this stage and everybody watching at home, because we tired of you lying and playing in our face. See, I don't understand. So they bring up the situation. Carlos says, do y'all think that it was disrespectful? Personally, I don't give a fuck. Please, don't nobody give a fuck about nothing that Martell doing. We already know that this nigga sleeping and creeping. Now we just seeing it out loud. Now we seeing it out in the open. It really doesn't matter, okay? It does not matter. Nell says it's disrespectful. I don't think so. I think it's, girl, please let him go on. the more distractions he has, the least he is gonna be worried about Mel. That's what I would have said. Open and shut case, girl. So Kimmy says that she, Kimmy, I forgot about this part. So they kind of going back and forth about the whole massage thing. Kimmy says, "Ooh, Mel, didn't you get a massage too?" Oh, bitch, you was quiet this whole fucking time, Kimmy. You didn't want to say nothing. You was high. You looking down. You not trying to. And the first time you opening your fucking mouth, it's because you trying to put Melody out there and make her seem like, oh, she doing the same thing Martell doing. Girl, are you fucking for real? Girl, Kimmy, that's why your ass did not get invited to that damn name change ceremony. Kimmy be doing some shit, and I just be looking at her like, girl, I used to really like you. I used to really think that you were. Anyway, okay. Melody said, no, I invited a professional to the house. There is an app called Zeel, Zeel, okay? And they come, I can pick whether it's a man or a woman. Carlos confirms that it is an app that he does that, and he uses it as well. And they come, they bring their table, their licensed masseuse, massage therapist. They come, and that's it. And the person that came to give me a massage was a woman. I said, Kimmy, girl, I would have... Oh my God, Kimmy. Anyway, so Martell says, catching him in a lie, right? He's like, well, yeah, and Melody said, this is the app that I go on. I'm telling you the app that I'm using. Martell, don't try to use my story. He turned around and was like, oh yeah, Zeel. Nigga, shut up. Such a fucking liar. And the thing about it is, he does it in jest, so people laugh it off, but we're like, you're lying to us. Why are you lying? You're lying for no reason. And if anybody is going to lie to me for no reason, like the sky is blue and you lying, I can't do that. I cannot live like that. I cannot deal with someone who lies just because the sun rose. Like, what is going on? Anyway, Carlos asked, okay, Martell, where did this girl come from? Okay, how did you find out about this girl? As soon as Martell said, man, listen, I said, oh, the motherfucker line, child, we done with you. We're done. Next, okay? Martell says that he's sick and tired of Nell defending Melody. Why doesn't he ask her about her cheating? And, if this was a man, you speaking about things that I've done years ago, and she keeps coming at me, telling me that I ruined my family, and this is the reason why my family is the way that it is. It is. It is. And the more you deflect and deflect and deflect and deflect, this is why you're still here. This is why you have not moved on, because you have not owned your whole soul part in this problem, sir. Okay? You are the one. You're still living in the consequences of what happened. Okay? I just feel so bad for Mel. Like, how, girl? I feel so sorry for her. Okay, I really do. So here we go with the whole Mel cheated on me. Nell, why don't you ask Mel about her cheating? No, Martell, why? You're the one with the narrative. Okay, Martell, if you feel like Mel cheated on you, and don't nobody believe you, by the way, I don't believe your ass at all. But anyway, okay. If you feel like Melody cheated on you, Martell, where's the proof? Okay, name names. You don't have no problem naming names. You don't have no problem saying certain things and putting people business out there, i.e. Marsau. You yelling out accusations about him sleeping with 20 women. Why the hell you not blasting Melody business, right? You were already allegedly threatening her with revenge. Okay? Why would you hold back if you felt like you had proof that she actually cheated on you? Again, you're deflecting. Martell, you worried about Coochie that's not even married to you no more. You worried about Coot that's not in relation to you, that's not married to you, that ain't got nothing to do with you, Martell. Stay worrying about the wrong thing and deflecting, and that's your problem. And so they're having a back and forth, Mel and Martell, and she was like, he's such a liar. You're such a liar. And then Martell like, don't tell me I'm a liar. What have I lied about? You lying right now about lying. You're lying right now about not lying. Nigga, shut up. Nigga, stop. Don't, we not about to do this. We not about to do this, Martell. We not about to do this. You're a liar. You've lied about so many different things. You're lying right now in this very moment, okay? Please. All right. So then we start talking about disrespect and Nell being disrespected by Martell. I don't think I've ever mentioned this, but I think that it is the most asinine, most just dumb thing that this whole men shouldn't argue with women shouldn't argue with men, blah blah blah. A woman ain't she a woman can argue her opinion and her thought just like a man can. I don't feel like the genders should only be arguing with each other. I think that that's the dumbest thing. Now, I do understand why a woman would be a little concerned about arguing with a man because we don't know how men respond, right? Because they don't know how to verbalize things sometimes. Instead of verbalizing how they feel, they'll fool around and hit you over the head or do some crazy stuff. So I do understand why a woman would be afraid to argue with a man, but that's mainly about personal safety and not necessarily because she cannot argue with him. Like, anyway, so Martell says that men can't argue with women. Men shouldn't argue, or women shouldn't argue with men. A man shouldn't, that's a woman overstepping her boundaries. See, this is the stuff that gets on my nerves with these men, right? They are so sexist. And that's the reason why we look at Marsau in the way that we do. We look at Marsau in the way we do, Martell, Maurice. That's the reason why we look at them the way we do. They have no respect for women. They think that we're lesser beings. They think that we're lesser. They think that we have, a place that we need to stay in. And because they think that way, it's almost what it's the next step would be to cheat on them, right? Because if you don't see a woman as a person, if you don't see her having like value and equal to you, if you don't see someone equal to you, how would you have respect for them across the board as a whole person, right? And so I think that's the underlying problem, and we have not addressed that at all, period. But we're not. So anyway, Nell and Chris say that they look at Martell and Mel as brother and sister. I said, how? But okay. Okay, I'm not going okay. Okay. Anyway, so Nell and Chris say that they see Martell and Mel as brother and sister, and so they're just arguing with each other as brother and sister. Although we see it quite differently. In terms of like age difference. But I don't even think from an age difference. Like, if I'm gonna argue with you, I'm arguing with you. I don't give a damn how, because we all grown here. We're all adults. Okay? So, but actually, no, now that I think about it, if they've come to Nell and Chris for counseling and guidance, that puts a little bit of a leadership structure above. Do you know what I mean? Like, that changes the dynamic a little bit of their relationship. It's like, we're coming to you for guidance. We're coming to you for counsel. That puts Nell and Chris in more of a leadership position as opposed to brother and sister. But they trying to clinch on to being young for. Please, y'all older. Just let it go. Okay, it's not nothing wrong with that. All right, we all want to be older. Okay, we all want to live to be older. Whatever. Anyway, we get to KeKe and Tisha again. I was like, we already talked to them, but we here again. Their relationship is over, y'all. It's over. It's done. The fat lady is singing. I feel like KeKe was ready to exploit herself, right? She was ready and willing to put all of her business on national TV just so she can have a spot on the show. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I do feel like that. But I also think that Tisha's just a hater. And I also don't like Tisha. I'm just being honest, okay? I'm just being honest. Tisha says that she felt like KeKe wasn't ready to be on the show. So they revealed that KeKe at some point really was. It was part of KeKe's plan to be a part of the show, but Tisha thought it wasn't good for her because of all the things that she had going on, and that, she could potentially destroy her family because of all the things, serious issues that she had going on in her family. But Tisha, that's not for you to make that decision. That's KeKe business. 1, 2, if KeKe want to do it, let her do it, child. That's on her. And at this point, irreconcilable differences, they're never going to come together. That's what Tisha says. And Tisha says it's all on her. I don't think so. I think it's two can play. I think two people had a role in the demise of their relationship. I don't know the ins and outs, but that's that on that. Okay. Oh, Marsau and Tisha, child. We get back right again. We get to Tisha and Marsau about this whole situation with cheating. He feels like a woman is absolutely capable of cheating. He feels like, a woman could go out to a bar and have a drink and then, slip into some D or some foolishness like that. Nell was like, and men can. And he was like, oh no, men are strong. I said, see, this the stuff. This the stuff I'm talking about. Marsau, your wife has dealt with so many infidelity rumors and millions of people, including myself, dragging you across the internet saying that you're a lying cheat. And your wife stood 10 toes down like Boo Boo the goddamn fool and said, no, my husband is not a cheater. He is here to support me and I love him for it. And the minute that there is a potential slight possibility, you wouldn't even give your woman the benefit of the doubt. And you said that if she even was pregnant, that you would leave her. You wouldn't even wait to find out the DNA of the child, even if she was pregnant. Sir, you are some kind of stupid. And so is Tisha, baby. Because listen, he is clearly telling you how he really feels about you, dear, and you are not listening, okay? And then he gives some sad, sorry example. Oh, what if I go and tell my wife that, oh, yeah, I got to take a DNA test for some woman who says she's pregnant? What you gonna do? I said, girl, and then Tisha feeding into the example. I'm gonna be out. You dummy. That was dumb. Why did you should have shut his example down from the jump, because it's not the same thing, okay? There's 2 steps in this process that you skipping, Tisha. Y'all dumb. You dumb. You're just dumb, okay? Marsau think he Confucius. He's just confusion, okay? That's it. For you to have to take a blood test to confirm paternity means, yes, you have slept with this woman, okay? And now you also, not only did you sleep with her, you also potentially fathered this lady's child. That's 2 steps, sir, okay? Her saying that she's pregnant, that's potentially, is she not even pregnant? Sir, stop. That's not the same. That's not the same. Anyway, y'all heard Mel over there was like, oh, Martell blinking his eyes. Basically when, Carlos was asking about all the millions of rumors going on about the infidelity and everything. And Martell, I guess, was blinking his eyes. And you saw Carlos ignore that. I said, well, why was Martell blinking his eyes? Being messy. Martell's so damn messy. Anyway, yeah. We find out Tisha's not pregnant. We knew Tisha wasn't pregnant. Damn, we knew her ass was not damn pregnant. Tisha wasn't pregnant. And she was like, I guess I just been eating good, y'all, Martell. And you wearing it well. Nigga, get the fuck on. Get on. What? Tisha silly shit. Anyway, so they talk about the whole situation of cheating back, right? And Carlos asked the group, would Tisha be well within her right to cheat back on Marsau and Kimmy and Maurice? Why would she do that? Why would you be okay with that? He has, is that under the guise of him actually cheating on her, even though there's no proof? I said, Kimmy, you have been quiet this whole time about Martell and his shenanigans. When Melody was leaning over trying to get you to say something, you looking down on the floor, don't want to say nothing. The one time, there you go, to put your motherfucking cape on for raggedy ass Marsau. Fucking Kimmy. Anyway, KeKe on the side, cameras go down. She calling Marsau a bitch. I said, Tisha, I guess you don't care if a woman calling your man a bitch. Low key, I feel like Tisha don't care if somebody calling her man a bitch because she think he a bitch too. Quiet as it's kept. That's what I thought. Anyway, Marsau says, well, come over here and get me. I said, Marsau, you finna hit that? You finna hit KeKe? Child, I don't know. Quiet as it's kept. I got my money on KeKe. I feel like she'll wear Marsau ass out. Quiet as it's kept. I ain't gonna lie to you. Anyway, it was a cool reunion. We done. We finished and we is done. I will be reviewing Love and Marriage DC, just so y'all know. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about the episode. And I'm glad for this break, y'all. We needed it. We really, really needed a break. Woo, praise God. Anyway, don't forget to like this video before you leave. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.